All right, we live. I'm going to cut in here. You guys hear that? No.
In all things Eagles. Now, here's your host, Natalie Eganoff.
Are we live?
We are live.
I can't hear.
I heard it.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you guys.
Can you hear me? All right.
Hey, you guys.
I got you, Kyle.
You got me, Roy. We're live. Breakfast
got
before
you.
the birds. What
Natalie,
is
you
going
can't
on?
hear us at all?
Natalie Eganoff having a little bit of trouble over here.
Little technical difficulties on this fine weather day we have here, Kyle.
But we are live. Roy, how are you this morning?
I'm doing all right. Again, like I'm a little bit better than you because I didn't have to shovel out my car as of yet.
Yeah.
So I heard you had a little bit of a trip getting in there this morning.
Yeah, Manionc's not fun as is getting out, but having to shovel through 5 to 6 inches of snow is not the best either. So, yeah, but we made it. It was about a half an hour trip that usually takes about 5 minutes.
Oh, geez.
But again, yeah, we're here. Hopefully things will be plowed by the time I get out of here by 1 o'clock after Green Legion from 12 to 1. But let's talk a little birds today. How about that, Roy Bird?
Let's do it. We gotta. You know what? This is probably the perfect slump buster opponent for these Eagles, right? These Raiders coming into town, the 2-11 Raiders coming into town. Like if there's any team that you want to see in your schedule after 3 straight losses, I think it's the Raiders. Is that right, Kyle?
I would say so. I was saying it yesterday on the show. If there's ever like a get right opponent, it's gonna be the Raiders. There's not many teams that are more abysmal than the Oakland Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders coming in 12.5-point underdogs. That's the latest line, courtesy of our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. 31st in total offense, 32nd in rushing offense, 32nd in points per game. Again, like this is the perfect opponent for the Eagles. And Natalie is back. Natalie,
hello, hi everybody. Good
there
morning.
we go.
That's in.
I'm sorry.
She's in.
Look, there's a snowstorm out today, but we are live. Hello, thanks. I'm sure you guys have taken the lead.
Yes.
Kind of talked about what's going on today in Philadelphia, but we all know that the Eagles. Gosh, guys, it's snowing out. It's almost Christmas, and all I want is a win. I need to snap this 3-game losing streak. I feel like it should happen today against the Raiders. How are you guys feeling about today?
Yeah, I mean, my question to you, Nat. So, as Roy just alluded to, the Eagles are 12.5-point favorites. Is a win enough for you, like an eked out ugly win, or do you want to see some domination here on the Eagles side?
No, I said I was on Fox 29 Friday night, and I did my Christmas wish list for Santa, and I said, I want to see an offensive spark is what I want. Like, I kind of want to see a complete game, and this should be a team where they are able to execute a complete game. But unfortunately, I really don't have any optimism that they will, because the offensive line is so banged up. And there's some sort of disconnect going on right now with something is going on in the locker room. And Roy and I, Kyle, thanks so much, for stepping in today. But Roy, we talked about it all year that like something's just not right. So I'm looking to see today if they can just execute a full game.
Yeah, exactly. And it starts, Roy, right out of the gate. I mean, they gotta come out, they gotta dominate early and often.
Yeah.
Not like how we started the show, a little shaky, a little disconnect, and then try and get back on track. But we recovered. Roy, what do you want to see today?
Roy, what are you looking for?
No, I think to your point, like you need to come out and dominate this team, as we talked about right before Natalie showed up. Like this is arguably one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the NFL. So if you're a team that has playoff aspirations, aspirations to go deep in the playoffs, like you need to come out at home, and dominate this team where you're favored by nearly 2 touchdowns, right? Like this should be a game where the offense looks as good as it has all season. This should be a game where you get a similar performance to what we saw from the defense last week against the Chargers. And again, this really should be a game that, by 4:00, that there's no doubt that the Eagles are clearly a better team than the Raiders. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they're looking, like a team that can actually make some noise these next few weeks.
I know. It's been such a journey. And when I think about this whole year and think about we go back to the Super Bowl, our expectations were so much higher, right? For this.
Sure.
So I don't even know like what the measuring stick is anymore. It's just, are they going to be able to make it to the playoffs? Well, they'll make it, but
they'll make the playoffs, right?
The playoffs, but what's that situation going to look like? And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But the league in itself has been ugly. So it's just one of those weird things,
Yeah, no, you're to your point. Yeah, like the expectations change, once things, kind of went left, right? Like at the beginning of the season, you're coming off the Super Bowl win. All right, well, anything less than another Super Bowl appearance or something, it's probably, that's probably a failure. And then, they start off pretty well. You didn't look good. You didn't look like a really good Super Bowl juggernaut team. But again, you started out 8-2, right? So you're like, all right, well, this is even with the bad conference, even though, everything's not rolling, we still should make another Super Bowl appearance. And now, the wheels kind of fell off these last, 3 games. So it's like, all right, maybe a Super Bowl appearance probably isn't likely anymore. So what is the definition of a good season, a positive season? For me at this point, probably a playoff win. If they get into the playoffs and win a game, make it to the divisional round, that's probably a good thing. All things considered, again, it's not what I would have expected at the beginning of the year, but given the injuries and all the discord and everything that's going on with this team, I think it's probably unlikely for us to make another Super Bowl run. So if this team gets in a dance, makes a little bit of noise, that's probably the definition of a good season. That's my definition. Maybe I'm wrong on this.
Of a good season, I suppose. I don't know. It's odd to me because it feels very similar to 2023, that season. Although that was just an epic collapse. But again, you make it to the Super Bowl the year prior, and then
right.
But then you struggle with identity. And this year was supposed to be the gold standard year because they were the gold standard last year. And everything, Patrick Mahomes, taking him out, the Chiefs, we're seeing their downfall now. They're not the powerhouse that they once were. So could they realistically, if by some chance, Kyle, do you believe that they would ever, that they could win the Super Bowl this year?
The way they're playing right now, no. We know that this team is capable of it, obviously, from what we saw last year. But we got to figure out, we got to get to the root cause of what the difference is between last year and this year. And the only thing that you can point the finger at is the offensive coordinator. And I just feel like you can't not point the finger that way because that's the only difference between what happened last year and this year. Last year, you had a solidified, successful OC in Kellen Moore. This year you switch to a guy that's a little unproven under Sirianni's wing, kind of making his first step up as a coordinator, and it's showing that his inexperience is filled with flaws.
Yeah, but the thing is about Sirianni too. He's kind of laying on the sword for Patullo, which I don't know how I feel about that. How do you guys think about that? Don't you feel like I want to see from him, I would also like to see a little bit more kind of like emotion or frustration. I feel like he's so animated when we're winning and he's putting himself out there. He's posturing and being pompous on the sidelines, but then when they're losing, he's like, well, we're going to stick with what we're doing. And I'm like, I don't really know if that's wise. And I don't know why head coaches and offensive coordinators come and go in this town. We've seen it over and over again. So it's really interesting to me that he is so just, I don't know. I'm like, is this the guy that you want to lay on the sword for, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, you take a,
I think that they're not going to get rid of Jalen. And that's been like the narrative all week long. Are they going to put in Tanner McKee? And I said,
we got to stop that.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't do that to your Super Bowl MVP quarterback. You just simply don't do that. So So it's one of those things where I don't know. I'm lost. I feel very lost.
I don't know. Seems to be a popular quote in Philly the last couple weeks. But yeah, I mean, to your point, when Sirianni comes out and says, you know, we're not changing anything, we're sticking to the game plan. I understand if, you know, they had one bad offensive week, maybe two bad offensive weeks. This has been consistent for over a month now. And for you to come out and say we're not changing anything leads me to believe that if you're saying you're not going to change anything, then how are we expect to see any improvement on the field? Because it just baffles me that he would come out and say that. Now, this last week, he said he was going to be a little bit more hands-on, more involved in the offensive game plan. They looked a little bit better at times. I thought the play calling was a little bit better, but then ultimately that was just trumped by Jalen Hurts having the worst game of his career. So, Roy, I don't know if you think Sirianni getting more hands-on in the offense is going to help. We've seen it in the past, and it hasn't helped. But I mean, it can't get any worse.
Exactly. Like, it can get worse, right? And to your point, like last week, you know, we saw a little bit more, you know, offensive diversity. We saw a little bit more Dallas Goedert than we've seen in recent weeks. Saquon Barkley had a nice game, one of his better games of the season. They actually ran a bunch of successful plays, you know, running under center. We haven't seen that a lot this year, and hopefully we'll see that going forward. Yeah, you know, go figure, you know. Hopefully we'll see that going forward. But I just want to get back to your point, and Natalie and John and I have talked about this all season. It's like, you know, all we want really from, you know, our coaching staff, you know, in this town is just to be honest, right? And so, like, clearly there's an issue with this offensive scheme, right? And so if Nick Sirianni just came out and said, yo, there's a problem, you know, we're doing everything we can in our power to fix it, then that's fine. You know, just don't come out and say, you know, we're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over, because clearly like that's not the case, because you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect all of a sudden this offense to kind of wake up and kind of figure it out. Like,
definition of insanity, right?
Exactly. Like, if the Eagles didn't make any changes, like, you know, didn't do anything, you know, last week on offense, probably would have looked like the same offense we've seen these past 12, 13 weeks. So clearly something needs to give. Clearly Nick Sirianni needs to have some sort of input in that offensive play calling room. And hopefully, you know, again, we'll see a little bit more of that this week against the Raiders.
That's right. I know. It's, gosh. And it's, I don't know. It's late in the year.
There it is again. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just so it's hard for me. I'm trying to find joy in the Eagles, and it's hard for me right now, which is disappointing. The Flyers have been fun. There's other teams who have been fun. But it's hard for me to find joy with the Eagles, just knowing how they started out this year. So we're gonna take a break, and we will come right back here on Breakfast Before the Birds, brought to you by Godshall's Quality Meats and Hank's Gourmet Beverages. We'll be right back after this.
We are clear.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome.
So I'll just come back and we'll open it up, and then we'll talk like Todd Bowles with the F-bombs and the coaches and stuff like that. And then I'm just like sick today, so I just you know.
Yeah, I'm hearing like some static.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah.
I don't know if Nat, that's on. I think it might be on your end.
I think it is too. I'm gonna let's come back, and then I'll just close it, and just because I have to go. Like, I'm just not feeling well today. And I'm trying to, you know.
All right.
Or if you guys want to take it, you're more than welcome to. And I'll just hop off, and we'll say it's technical difficulties.
I mean, it's up to you. I don't know what Jansen's plan is.
Where is he?
Dude, I don't know.
Okay.
We're still live on the internet though, so we have 2 minutes and 25 seconds to crap on John Jansen. He sucks.
He had the wrong Heisman voter. I got to talk to him about this.
Oh yeah,
Jeremiah Love, baby. Where's the love?
John likes to be an outcast.
John had him fourth. It's ridiculous.
Oh jeez.
I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter about my bet. I'm not bitter at all.
All righty. So, yeah, I don't know how to get the station feed through to you guys, but I'm cranking it up in the studio so you can kind of hear it a little
Just
bit.
give us a thumbs up when we're back, and then
Sounds
And
groovy.
then Natalie, you can do whatever you want. Like I can hang and run it out or whatever you want to do. Just let me know.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I don't mind. We can roll with it.
okay. So I'm gonna pop off now,
Okay,
Okay.
and then you guys just want to take it over.
that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
sure,
good.
that works.
Kyle, you good?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, looks like we got
no worries.
Jansen.
Yeah, hello.
There he is.
You guys got me. Check.
Yeah.
Hey, how we doing?
There's an echo though.
There's an
Yeah.
echo. Powers. There's an echo. Powers will fix it. The wizard.
Powers can fix anything.
Yeah, the wizard.
I can't fix my marriage, though.
Jeez.
Ooh, whoa.
Good.
Hey,
I'm kidding. I was just.
Bro, we are still live and your wife is
Natalie
listening.
just left.
Yeah, Nat had to go.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Why is that? Oh no. Is she all right?
I don't know, but
Yeah, she was
are we able to
doing
fix that echo?
Yeah, you got. I just gotta change your mic settings. My mic.
We got
settings.
40 seconds.
40 seconds. 40 seconds.
And John, I don't know how to get the station feed through StreamYard, so I'm just like blaring it through the studio so you can hear it through my mic.
You have to change the settings.
Oh, cool.
The WNIP, I think it's like something 2.
For audio,
Yeah.
WNIP.
Pop culture.
It's like something 2.
Inside my journey through my 15th season in the NFL. Looking forward
Yeah, I
to you
hear it.
joining me this season, the season of more.
Now we won't be able to
on
hear
Off the Edge
Colin.
with Cam Jordan podcast. Open your free iHeart app and search Off the Edge and start listening.
Can't hear you, Kyle, but we got the
We're
we got the
talking
station.
about it. It's the Gambler. From the first sip of coffee to the first snap, you're rolling with breakfast before the birds on the Gambler.
Welcome back to Breakfast Before the Birds. Roy Burton alongside John Jansen, who's live from the Philly show. John, how's it going, my friend?
It's going good. I'm about to make some crazy Pokemon purchases today. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Look, you are in the place to do it because this is the Philly show. What is this?
I'm literally looking right at it. I'm looking at all the boxes and cards I'm about to buy.
Are these shows quarterly? They are every few months. They have the Philly show out in Oaks, PA. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
where you are? Yeah.
Just about, yep. And today there's going to be, I think Larry Bow is going to be here today. Doc Gooden's going to be here. The Philly Fanatics' best friend is going to be here as well. So it's a nice day. It's a fun one today.
Nice. Again, Roy Burton, John Jansen, Breakfast Before the Birds. Natalie had to step away for a bit, but we will hold things down here.
Busy Sunday
the show.
before birds.
Very, very busy Sunday before a busy game. John, since you just joined us, we'll get your thoughts on this game. Eagles, 12.5-point favorites now over the visiting Las Vegas Raiders in a snowy Lincoln Financial Field. I just saw the tarp being put down on the field, salt being put down around the seats at the link. John Jansen, do you think the Eagles roll today against the Raiders?
No, I can't. I can't say that they will. It's just that I can't bet 12.5 on an offense that doesn't move. And I think a lot of the issues are turnovers, and that's a really great way to keep a bad team into a football game. So I can't go with the 12.5. I can't in good faith be like excited about the Eagles today. It's just it's the offensive problems that need to get fixed, and maybe this is a get right game. But I don't know if there is a get right game for them. I think this is just the way the season is now, and this is the kind of team that they are. They're saying it doesn't feel like 2023, but it feels like 2023. And this is maybe the next 2 games are against the Raiders and Washington. If they have their Arizona Cardinals moment, that is because they lost Arizona in 2023. Arizona was a really bad football team. That was kind of like the death sentence. That was like, okay, yes, this season's over. That would kind of be it if it happened with these two games coming up, if they lose to either the Raiders or Washington. I'm not saying they lose today, but 12.5 for sure. I just can't do it with an offense that's not good. That's kind of terrible actually right now.
Well, I'll get back to that point in a second. But Kyle, before you came on, Kyle said if there's ever a get right game, it's this game right here. Kyle, please convince John Jansen that this Raiders team is a get right team.
Yeah, I'm not going to full blown say it's going to be, they're going to cover the 12.5. It's going to be a blowout. I just don't think the Eagles are that team. But with that being said, if there were to be a get right game, this would be the one right here to do it. And I still think the Birds win the game. I don't know if they blow them out and cover the 12.5, but I think they find a way to get a groove going offensively, and that'll be enough to have them win the game by, a touchdown, maybe 10 points. But now, does that mean that's a get right game for when they compete against a playoff caliber team? Probably not, but hopefully they can find some sort of identity coming out of this game and against, again, an abysmal Vegas Raiders team.
I don't even know if it's identity. They just need to calm Jalen down. Jalen's usually so poised and usually very calm, but the last 2 games, the turnovers it's been at an alarming rate, and a lot of it's just like he's doing too much. He's forcing too much. The interception in overtime, that should have been just a handoff. It was an RPO play. The read was Saquon Barkley, yet he's trying to make a play and trying to throw a needle on the outside and try to make a really difficult throw. It's just he's playing really outside of himself. And I think they just need to rein him in. I don't know if that means running the ball more. I don't know if it means go back to a simpler passing game because they tried a bunch of different concepts last week. But yeah, I think that's the big thing for me. They need Jalen. The turnovers are killing them right now. Jalen wasn't turning the ball over at all this season. Now he can't stop. So basically, can they pretty much calm him down in this game, and maybe somewhat for this season because it's really killing him.
And John, to your point, we mentioned it yesterday. Is Jalen feeling uncomfortable? Is he making these mistakes because they are steering away from what their typical game plan usually is heavy on the run game, looks a little boring at times. Now you're hearing the outside noise, whether it's A.J. Brown or Jalen can't throw the ball 30, 40 times a game, and they're kind of feeding into that noise to a point where they're kind of making it uncomfortable for Jalen Hurts, steering away from what's been successful in the past.
Yeah, I mean, what's making it really uncomfortable is they don't have a running game. And I think now it's something that you need with Jalen. This is kind of a season, another reminder that a running game helps Jalen out a lot. Jalen's probably superpower is his deep ball and kind of these deep sideline throws. And he threw a couple of good ones even against the Chargers. AJ dropped the touchdown. And it was a tough play, so I can't even blame it on AJ all that much. Just a really tough play, but an outstanding throw. Jalen can still throw those. That is his X factor, his secret weapon, is those plays. But the problem is, when you don't run the ball, then everybody's looking for that, and they can play a little bit deeper. They don't have to stack the box as much. So they need a running game, and maybe that's him that needs to run more too, to make teams more aware that he is willing to run. But I think that's where the uncomfortable comes from. I don't know. Everybody's like, well, they were more complex last week, and maybe that's where it got Jalen, and Jalen wasn't comfortable because of that. I don't think so. I think he was making good throws. He actually made some throws that he usually doesn't. That one over the middle to Devontae Smith was a great throw. He usually doesn't throw those. So, that was great to see. It's just that, again, his best throw is that sideline one. That's his most consistent, biggest play, and he just can't do it right now because teams are pretty much aiming to stop that. They're not aiming to stop the run anymore because the run's just a non-factor.
Just to put a bow on this Jalen Hurts discussion, obviously we talked about it in the first segment. Poured water on the whole Tanner McKee, benching Jalen Hurts kind of thing.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I can't stand that we collectively, as a city, get held accountable for that noise that's coming from a handful of people because it's a bad look for Philly fans. It's the most ridiculous take. And it doesn't speak for the 99% of the Philly fans.
It's not realistic.
That think it's dumb.
It's delusional. You don't
it's very delusional.
You don't bench a quarterback with 5 years of NFL success. I mean, varying degrees, but for the most part, largely successful. And then, after a few games, just bench him. The thing is
because Tanner McKee looked really good in preseason.
Yeah, and Tanner McKee did look good. So Tanner McKee can run, but there's no way you bench a guy that you already know that you can win a Super Bowl. Yes, Jalen, I think needs a little bit more help, and there's a certain way a team needs to be built for Jalen to win. Everybody needs help, but Jalen needs a certain way, certain thing for him, and I think it's the running game. A certain way for a team to be built to win. But the thing is, you already know if you can get him that, and the Eagles did, you can win a Super Bowl. There's not many quarterbacks. I don't know what that that blueprint, that map would be for Tanner McKee. It might be a lot more. There might not ever be a blueprint to get a quarterback like that to a Super Bowl. So if a quarterback can get you there, even under circumstances where you have to really put a situation around him that makes him comfortable, like that's still like if you can do that, then yeah, you are in position to win Super Bowls. That's all I need from a quarterback. So like,
yeah, Roy, let me ask you something.
Crazy.
Sure.
Let me ask you something, because in Kansas City last week, Patrick Mahomes threw for 160 yards and 3 interceptions. Should he be benched?
You got you got to think about it if you wanted to go for, go for this same line of thinking. A man who's won a Super Bowl with that team, Super Bowl, recent Super Bowl MVP. You got to think about benching him if he has a bad game.
He's had a bad stretch. I think he's done. He's cooked.
He's cooked. He's done. Like, he's never going to win again. Like, he can't win anymore. You need to kind of bench him, and then you need to kind of move on from him this offseason. Figure out the salary situation. Like, this is like, is Jalen Hurts? Is Jalen Hurts struggling? Sure, yeah. Like, and to your point, John, yes. Like, Jalen Hurts is the kind of guy who kind of needs the right environment around him to thrive, and he's probably not a guy, like the elite quarterbacks who kind of elevate everybody else, like a Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. But that's not to say he's not great. Well, not really good. That's not to say he's not a Super Bowl caliber quarterback, because we've seen him go to the Super Bowl twice and outplay Patrick Mahomes twice in those games, winning one of those games. And all of a sudden, after a couple of bad games and a really bad, turnover performance, you want to bench him for Tanner McKee? Like, this is silly. This is insane talk.
I think what happens too is people go a little bit overboard on the Jalen stuff. I feel like I've been pretty consistent. Like, he's a fringe top 10 guy. Sometimes he's going to play like a top 8, top 5 guy. Sometimes he's going to play like a top 12, top 15. Like, that's kind of where he is. And I think people sometimes, when the expectation gets so high, they're thinking top 5 quarterback. And when he doesn't play or even look remotely close to that, everybody's like, oh, see, he's really bad. Like, no, he's exactly what he's always been. And the things that you're talking about has always been there. And they still have been able to. And it's not like he's doing nothing on the way to these Super Bowls. He has been, again, largely successful. Like, most of it has been pretty good, if not great. So, like, I think it's just the expectation. What people think of him sometimes just plays into that. And I just think sometimes people need to be more realistic about what he is. And I think that would help. That would help everybody. And it would help him and help the expectations of him, too.
Do people not remember the terrible history of quarterbacks we've had in this town? Like, do people not remember? Like, do you want to go back? Do you want to go back to the mediocre?
Do you want Mike McMahon? Do you want Mike?
Right. Do you want Bobby Hoying? Like, I don't even have to go back that far, but I mean, do you want just like
Gee, you're going way back.
I'm about to say, do you want? I'm sorry, I'm older, so I mean, like,
no. But do you want to go back to
what's Kevin Cobb doing these days?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want to go back to Kevin Cobb? Do you want to go back to Sam Bradford? Do you want to go back to even like Nick Foles? They started, and like, sure, he had a little bit of success. He stunk. There was a while after Andy Reid where and even at the end of Andy Reid, why he got essentially fired, it was like, can't find a quarterback. And like that's the problem of so many teams. And again, you have one that you are very comfortable and know exactly what he needs. And they've already been able to build around him like that. If you have a quarterback that you can do that with, keep them all. You got to keep them as long as you can, as long as possible.
Like,
well, should we take a break here, boys?
Yeah, we can take a break. Yeah, let's take a break.
Awesome.
Let's take a break here. Let's take a break here. Again, this is Breakfast Before the Birds. Kyle Nunemaker, John Jansen, Roy Burton here with you on Fox Sports The Gambler.
All righty.
Awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Roy.
No worries.
Jesus, Kyle. I mean,
can you stop just for once? For once in your life.
Oh, man, I'm going to buy so much Pokemon shit.
Dude, stop cursing.
Oh, yeah, I should. I should not. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm going to buy so much Pokemon crap.
Oh, man.
Don't mention that you're going to be buying Pokemon crap, dude. Embarrassing.
Pikachu.
Dude, that's all I'm looking for is Pikachu stuff.
It's all about Pikachu.
I'm actually jealous. I want Pokemon stuff, dude.
There's a couple really great ones that I've been looking at. The Holy Grail one for me is here, but that one's like a little bit of a higher purchase. I do have to be aware that I am also buying a vehicle potentially on Monday. So it's got to be a little bit.
Vehicle or Pokemon?
Exactly. Which one? Decisions.
Pokemon cards in like 20 years could help pay for a vehicle. Okay. I don't need one now.
So do you buy stuff graded, or are you just buying it raw? Like
I'm looking graded. There's some raw. The Holy Grail one I'm talking about. is 300 raw. So I am trying to buy that one raw and then get it graded.
Okay.
But for the most part, if it's like a mid card, like around 100, 150, I'm looking for graded.
Got it.
Looking for those 10s, Roy.
Got to get those 10s, man.
Roy, why are you not out here other than the snow?
Other than the snow.
Other than the 10 feet of snow that we were.
Yeah, no, talk to Powers, man. Talk to Powers. I would have spent a disgusting amount of money out there, so it's probably best that I am here.
Disgusting.
Yeah, what are you ripping? What have you been looking for?
Allen and Ginter, got a couple boxes of Allen and Ginter.
Yeah, I'm looking at some prices here. The Allen and Ginter boxes at our shop are actually priced really well. So if you do want A&G,
okay, yeah.
stop by.
How much? Oh no, yes, fine. Yeah, that's good.
8,200 now. So
yeah, that's a good price. All right, maybe I'll stop by.
Dude, Allen and Ginter's great set, man. I love.
It's really good. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, you see some people the Livy Dunn 101?
Really? No, I didn't see it. No, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's.
I got a Kyle Tucker out of 5.
Oh,
yeah,
that's some heat, dude. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's a fun rip. It's definitely fun.
Yeah,
You said Livy Dunn's there, Jansen?
Livy Dunn.
No. Livy Dunn is in the Allen. But, no Livy Dunn here.
No Livy Dunn.
I'm better though, so I'm here.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. All right, what do you guys want to get into on this last segment here?
Should I have Powers buy me I need to rip a Pokemon pack like that.
I'm a moron, by the way.
I need to rip a Pokemon pack like I want a cigarette right now. Like just give it to me. Give me the nicotine.
Dude.
Give me the
I'm a
nicotine.
moron. I had the one pot down and was wondering why every other commercial was not.
What's not going?
Dude, you're having a day, Kyle.
What a moron.
Man.
They shouldn't even let me in here.
Dude, what a nightmare getting everything set up.
Yeah.
Today.
1 minute.
Are you doing Legion at noon?
Noon, yeah.
You didn't get it switched? That sucks.
Yeah, and I can't even go out to get something to eat because I don't want to drive anywhere.
I would not recommend driving.
Yeah,
maybe I'll just eat somebody's old lunch that's in the fridge.
I was slipping and sliding all up here.
It was terrible.
Yeah, like the main roads are great. It's like back roads, like they're plowed, but there's still a sheet of snow. It's not even an inch, the sheet. And so I was just sliding everywhere. It felt
it's brutal. That's how I got stuck because it was just pounded down snow / slush. That was just crazy.
Jeez.
All right, we got 15 seconds here.
All right.
Let's have some fun. I'll click in the studio.
Nice. Look at Powers working hard. Oh, he's wearing a Powerhouse hoodie. Hell yeah.
Welcome back to Breakfast Before the Birds. Running 3 wide today. Kyle Nunamaker, John Jansen, Roy Burton here on Fox Sports The Gambler. Gentlemen, before we talk about this Raiders game, I do need to talk about a very sad occurrence that happened this past week. The Positivity Bunny is gone from the Eagles locker room.
They slaughtered the Positivity Bunny?
The Positivity Bunny, much like Hitchbot, is no longer with us. Lasted 5 days. I thought this was going to be another dog mask thing, guys. I thought we were going to have another mascot, another thing we could rally around.
You already have bunny ears on the way getting sent to you.
Listen, man. I'm not saying I went on Temu and bought 100 boxes of bunny ears, but I'm not saying it either. I thought it was going to be the thing, but no more Positivity Bunny. But I'm telling you right now, we don't need the Positivity Bunny. The Eagles are beating the Raiders today, smashing the Raiders today. This is as confident as I've been about any game.
That sounded too positive.
The Raiders stink, John. Again, like I was telling Kyle.
The Eagles don't, right? Yeah, Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett. Kenny Small Hands Pickett in this weather. Kenny Small Hands Pickett. Eagles 31st, Raiders 31st in total offense, 32nd in rushing offense, 32nd in points per game. West Coast team coming east, 1 o'clock game in the snow. There is no way, John. Like I am more confident about this game than any game this season. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're going to win by at least double digits.
If they do that, that means that they didn't turn the ball over and they finally fixed that. I mean, that's the big thing. I can't take a double-digit spread on a team that has turned the ball over 9 times. Jalen has turned the ball over 9 times, like the last 2 games, something like that. So yeah, I can't. That's the way. That's the way you keep bad teams into football games. That's the way you lose a game to a team that you shouldn't. Is turnovers, and like it's happening at such an alarming rate. And look, everything regresses to the mean at some point. Yes, eventually, Jalen's not going to fumble the ball and throw an interception on one play. He's not going to have 5 turnovers in one game. It's going to be where maybe he doesn't turn the ball over. It's just 1 interception. But as of right now, I can't bet it because of that. It's impossible for me to think that's a good bet.
Well, it's even scary, too, because it's not even just the turnovers that are halting any offensive success, because they weren't even having offensive success before these turnovers occurred. So this is just even throwing even more of a wrench in what's already been an abysmal offense. Abysmal is my word today, by the way. I think that's
abysmal.
The third time. Yeah, that's the third time I said it today. Raiders are abysmal. The Eagles' offense is abysmal. The weather outside's abysmal.
The weather outside is
birds by 40.
It's a winter wonderland out there, Kyle. Come on, don't be a downer.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? Isn't that what the song says?
I'll say that when I get home in one piece.
Yeah, you're in a nice, warm, cozy home. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that's not abysmal, Brock Bowers, really good. Might be the best tight end in the NFL. Like, if the Raiders are going to have offensive success today, it's probably largely going to be because of Bowers. John, let me ask you, what would be your game plan in trying to stop Brock Bowers today? Is this a game where you put Coop on him in a slot and kind of hopefully that works?
I was about to say, I haven't seen anything, and I know Chip Kelly's not there anymore, so I'm not sure how much has changed. But I haven't seen where they've been lining him up. I know they do line him up out wide sometimes. I think on the one touchdown he had a couple weeks ago where Geno Smith threw it at his ankles and he caught it.
Yeah.
I think he lined up on the outside on that. So, it just depends. I'm going to assume more. If they do it smart, they should just line him up at the line of scrimmage like tight with the offensive line and work that way. Because if you line him up, as a wide out, kind of out wide, that's when you can get the matchup of like Cooper DeJean on him. I just think it would be a little bit better for Brock if he is lined up at the line of scrimmage and you can maybe get a linebacker on him or something like that. But I think if they do line him wide, it's got to be Cooper DeJean. I think that would be one of the better matchups. Brock Bowers isn't the biggest tight end. That's really the great thing. He's such a great athlete that it really doesn't matter that he's a little bit smaller. I think he's like way below average when it comes to size for tight ends. But what makes him great is he still has strength and he still has speed. But I think for Coop, that's a really good matchup. He can match up with somebody like that very well.
Kyle, do you think Brock is priority number 1 for the Eagles, defense today, or is it Ashton Jeanty, who we haven't even mentioned yet?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely Brock Bowers. Like you mentioned, he's one of the best tight ends, if not the best tight end in the league right now. And I absolutely would, not mess around. I would lock up Cooper DeJean on him because I think they have that luxury to do so today because, one, you have Kenny Pickett at quarterback. 2, the Raiders don't have a receiving game at all. I mean, after they traded Jacoby Myers to Jacksonville, their number 1 is Trey Tucker. I think they have the luxury of being able to really put a focus of having a nickel on Brock Bowers at all times. Ashton Jeanty, I think he's going to have a good career. I don't think it's. I don't think it's his year.
Maybe not in Las Vegas.
Not in Vegas, right?
Yeah. So I think they should not have a problem with a 4-man front being able to stop the running game and get to Kenny Pickett. So I'm not worried about the defense at all today.
Kenny Pickett.
Trey Tucker, Kenny Pickett. Trey Tucker, Tyler Lockett, Dante Thornton, and Jack Beck. Those are your Raiders
come on
receivers.
Now.
Today.
Come on.
Yeah.
You might be able to get away with having Keely Ringo in there today.
Well, let's not go that far. Let's easy, Kyle.
That's too much.
I think you went a little bit too far there. I'm not.
I don't know.
Speaking of abysmal, they're
exactly. I think you don't even suit up Quinyon today. You just give him rest.
Let's relax.
Oh, my goodness.
Give him like a Joel Embiid load management rest.
I will say this though, Adoree Jackson looked pretty good last week. Can we get another good Adoree Jackson game?
Last week was the best game of the year for him.
Yeah.
It's just gonna go unnoticed because of the outcome of what happened. But I had no doubt that the Eagles, they had that slip up against the Bears on a short week and then had some rest and was able to figure it out. I had no doubt that they were going to be able to get back on track against the Chargers. That's what Vic Fangio does best, is game plan ahead. And I know that was an anomaly, what happened at home against Chicago.
Look, the Eagles had 7 sacks last week on defense. They had three turnovers on defense, all in the second quarter. Should have won that game, obviously, because of the other turnovers, that didn't happen. But hopefully that doesn't happen this week against a Raiders team that has literally scored 24 points just once this season. So I think it's time for predictions. John Jansen, again, Eagles 12.5-point favorites heading into today's game. What's your score? Who is your MVP of today's action?
MVP.
Or player of the game, whatever you want.
Jake Elliott.
There you go.
I'm gonna go 2013 Eagles. MVP of the game. Gosh, maybe Cooper. Maybe he does end up locking down a little bit. Brock Bowers. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be defense. Just pick anyone on the defense, I guess. Maybe Adoree Jackson. Like maybe it is another good game from him, and he's really starting to solidify that number 2 spot outside of Quinyon. But yeah, I would say Cooper, I guess, because that's the only real threat the Raiders have is Bowers. So Eagles have at least a guy that can somewhat stop him.
All right, Kyle, what do we got?
Yeah, I mean, I was similar to John. I think it's kind of a grinded out game. I have 20-10 Birds. Like I said, I don't think the defense has any issues. Offense does enough to get it done. I think it's wishful thinking to think that the Eagles are just going to be explosive on offense, regardless of who they're playing. So I have a low scoring one here. Easily hits the under 20-10. I'll go with my player of the game. I'll go with Jordan Davis. He's having a hell of a year. Okay. I think he's going to be able to feast against this offensive line, get to the quarterback. He's really stepped up in a contract year, and I think he continues that today.
I like that. Jordan Davis has been very, very good these last couple of weeks. It was awesome last week against the Chargers. Oh, ye of little faith. Eagles 27. Raiders 10. 27? Eagles offense looks as good as they have. The Raiders stink. The Raiders are going to give us extra possessions this week. Touchdown for Saquon. Touchdown for A.J. Brown. I'm not worried about this game. Maybe I'm just completely off base on this. I'm not worried about this Raiders team. I do not see this Raiders team beating this Eagles team in this spot. Maybe I'm just super optimistic. I think the Raiders are, to quote a famous philosopher, abysmal. And I think this team needs to get back on track today, and they will get back on track today with the blowout win. So give me the Eagles 27-10. Give me a big Saquon game. I think Saquon gets 20 plus carries and goes over 100 yards.
I think they need to. And they got a little bit of it last week. I feel like it's getting there. They're getting more like some explosive runs. But I mean, that would fix everything. I think that's like if you want to fix the passing offense and you want to fix Jalen, I think now it's almost like get the running game going. They are a passing team right now, and I get they had to do it against the Chargers just to survive. But in a game like this, maybe the next 2 games, like the get right portion is get your running game right, get your offensive line right, and that I think that would almost instantly fix whatever problem's going on with the passing game and your quarterback.
And then to your point, Roy, I mean, then I want to see if they get the running game going. Maybe, Jalen under center, do a little more play action rollout just to keep the defense, off kilter. I want to see more of that because when you're in the shotgun and you're doing, the play action that way, when you're not running the ball to begin with,
right,
it's not tricking anybody. So I think they need to be more dynamic, and I think they're going to be able to do that if they get Saquon going.
Run some I formation, run some T-bone. Like,
let's
really throw it back here.
Let's give Saquon a chance to, go north-south a little bit.
I mean, look, take some inspiration from Army-Navy yesterday. Run some triple option. Let's do it.
I'm glad I did Boise State.
Actually, that might work. To be honest, that might work.
Triple option?
Yeah.
See some triple option?
I think I would do it. With Jalen, Jalen could run that really well.
Jalen doesn't want to run. He clearly doesn't want to run. So, what are you going to do?
He better. If he wants to,
it just becomes the triple option without the triple.
Like he'll do anything it takes to win. Run the dang ball. Do it.
I think Tanner McKee might be more willing to do it. I'm just saying.
I think so too. Yeah. If Jalen Hurts throws if first play is incomplete, I'm going to be calling for Tanner McKee. He's the savior.
Oh yeah, one last thing. So apparently people want to give a standing ovation to the offense when they come out for the game. Did you guys see that? I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah. I unfortunately saw that, and I'm
We're doing
just
standing ovations again.
Can we just like
How bad is it? Is it that bad? Is everybody down that bad right now?
It's the same sources that want to start Tanner McKee. It's just
it is.
so dumb. It's so stupid.
I'll tell you what, I'm not doing a standing ovation.
No.
This is football, brother. Like,
Yeah, this is football.
Figure it out.
Can we stop with all this? I hate this.
Also,
I hate this narrative. It's driving me nuts.
You know what? Do a standing ovation just for them to throw another pick. Do it.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome.
That's really going to help. That's what's really missing. That's what is missing between, last year being Super Bowl winners and this year kind of, not playing that well we just need standing ovations.
Yeah, that fixes
standing ovations. I mean, I watched Hard Knocks, NFC East. I've been watching that, and I can see it in the quarterback room, the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I'm about to give you a standing ovation. Why are you watching?
They're watching film. They're just saying, you know what? We're executing everything. We just need standing ovations, I think, and I think we're gonna be able to put it all together. And yeah, I have been watching it. It's entertaining.
One of the
but
10 people watching Hard Knocks. Good on you.
I like to torture myself. That's why.
Yeah.
Have you
make me watch Hard Knocks?
Have you learned anything from Hard Knocks?
Yes, I have learned that. No, actually, not learned. But the funny thing is, I watched it last night, and the funny thing is that they kind of just gloss over Washington and the Giants, and then the main focus is just Dallas and the Eagles.
I wonder why.
Washington went into Minnesota last week and they lost. The Giants are just having a rough season. Meanwhile, in Dallas, and then it's 30 minutes of Dallas coverage, and I just think it's funny. But it's just interesting to see behind the scenes.
Or not wear seatbelts on planes. I thought I saw
that.
that.
That was funny.
Yeah, that's what I learned is I loved Devontae before, but watching him on Hard Knocks this past week just made me love him even more because I was cracking up at his conversations.
If you want people advocating for standing ovation, you can listen to the other guys. If you want deep dives into Hard Knocks,
if you want just straight hate and venom, you come here.
Yes, come here. Fox Sports The Gambler, Kyle Nunamaker, John Jansen, Roy Burton. Breakfast Before the Birds. Thank you, gentlemen, as always. Thank you for everybody for tuning in to the show. We'll be back with you next week, same bat time, same bat channel. But until then, go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Clear.
Cool beans.
Awesome, man.
Oh, I feel like this chair's going to collapse. Am I that fat? I've been eating a lot.
I'm going to end the live stream on that note.
Yes. This chair's like